All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another collaboration beer. This time between the Two Tides Brewing Company, and they are out of Savannah, Georgia, and Human Robot, and they are out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the North Park Beer Company, and they are out of San Diego, California, and this is their San Diego to Philadelphia to Savannah. So they are calling this one a West Coast Pilsner that comes in at 5.4% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review. And this can is just over 2 months old. I'm going to give a huge thanks, shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and a viewer of the channel, Wes, for this beer. So big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Wes sent my way. And he sent me 9 beers in total, 8 of which were unique, and they're all from the state of Georgia, including 5 from Two Tides. Now, he sent me a beer mail last year that included a bunch of Georgia beers, and Two Tides was the standout. At the end of the year, when I did like my top beer list, top breweries list, they were definitely one of my favorite breweries of the year, one of my top 10 breweries. I think he sent me 5 different beers. They were all delicious, and they kind of came out of left field for me. Didn't know much about Two Tides, so this time around, he sent me another 5, and he sent me a West Coast Pilsner, which makes sense for this one. I don't think Two Tides really known for, their lagers as much as Human Robot is, and North Park is known for their West Coast IPAs and just crisp, clean. I would say West Coast IPAs and double IPAs and whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to this one. They don't mention the hops. They just say Pacific Northwest and New Zealand, so they don't say specifically. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Just over 2 months old. I'm really excited about this one, and I have the hashtag proper glassware, kind of. We'll say hashtag 1/3 proper glassware because it's North Park glass. I don't have a Human Robot or Two Tides glass, so we got to make do with this one. So let's give it a pour here, and hopefully this is quite delicious. I love West Coast Pilsners, or like dry hopped lagers or dry hop Pilsners. You're seeing them more and more, I feel like, across the country. For the most part, if you see West Coast Pilsner, say a couple years ago, it would definitely be from a California brewery. But at this point, a lot of places are doing them. And a West Coast Pilsner is just kind of like, a base Pilsner, but with like a West Coast kind of hop flair to it. And they are pretty tasty when you get some well-brewed ones. 3 great breweries here. I'm hoping that's the case. Lots of carbonation. This has, and it's going to be darker on camera, but in person has this straw yellow color, a very bright and vibrant. Tons of carbonation in this one. A almost 4-finger of this soap sudsy bright white colored head. Hold it up to the light. You can see the shadow of my hand. This has a gentle haze to it. Could be, again, something, like kind of chill haze or just the condensation. Wiping down the condensation. Now, it definitely has a slight haziness to it. And that's the thing. When you see like dry hop Pilsners, West Coast Pilsners, things like that, they're not always crystal clear. They're clear beer for the most part, but they, like I said, you can see the shadow. You can kind of make up my hand a bit, but not super. The clarity is not true to roof. But anyway, it looks really nice. And in the hashtag proper glassware, maybe not really proper glassware, but kind of proper glassware. I'm going to pour a little bit more in here just because why not? Look at that big foamy head. That looks beautiful. That is a beautiful looking beer. Has the pillow top head. I might spend too much time on the appearance of beers, but man, they say you eat and you drink with your eyes. So anyway, let's see if I can get anything through this. Yeah, I can. So let me inhale the head here. It's great. And it's really tough to get through a head like this and get aromatics, and they're screaming even through this almost 4-finger head. There's a lot of, I'm getting big citrus, like almost blood orange, like a bright, citrusy, juicy, but like pithy blood orange, grapefruit, lemon, lime. But then I'm getting this nondescript berry, like I say that and I go back and it's like a little bit of blueberry. I feel like Mosaic might be in here. Yeah, it's like a blueberry, like bubble gum or something. Blueberry candy. Yeah, there's a big floral, almost like slight resinous pine quality in the nose as well. Maybe a touch of dankness. Dude, this smells so good. This is just over 2 months old, and it smells super vibrant. Yeah, I just want to crush this. So, I mean, for a West Coast Pilsner, yes, it has that hop character you expect, but the Pilsner base is there. I get like a nice biscuity, crackery kind of malt sensation. A little bit sweeter. Yeah, anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again to Wes. This, to me, off of that first sip, gives me old school IPL vibes, but also like cold IPA vibes. it has the hop saturation and the hop character you expect from like a West Coast IPA or double IPA, but with the drinkability and the malt character, the crisp, clean sensation of a Pilsner of some sort. So it's a beautiful hybrid. Buying this one, I was expecting like lower side of medium. This is straight on medium, maybe a touch over. Way bigger than I anticipated. Now that could be looked at as a bad thing, aka negative. It could also, I almost had to save that. That would have been problematic. No, not really. I got my paper towels, my Bounty was a sponsorship. It just has the, it has kind of everything that I kind of want from the style. Anyway, I forget where I was. I almost spilled everything. But anyway, so the body, it could be looked at as a negative or a positive. Negative, and if you want something a little bit lighter and more refreshing, maybe you want something a bit bigger if you're just going to drink one or two of them to just feel like it's more hearty. For me, I'm fine with it. Medium, touch over medium. I do like that it's not thin. The mouthfeel, it's super crisp. It's effervescent. It has a moderate to touch over moderate carbonation, spritzy on the tongue. Really kind of what you're looking for out of the style. Super crisp. Exceptionally clean as well. The taste, forefront, crackery, biscuity, but more crackery malt sensation. Omnipresent, hits me at the front of the palate, kind of hits me again on the back, only slightly, kind of mixing in with the finish. Right after that, though, there's tons of citrus notes. I'm getting, again, I'd say blood orange, lemon, lime, grapefruit. It's a mixture of juicy kind of citrus qualities along with that pithy, rindy, kind of almost slight bitterness right at the tip of the tongue, too. And if you follow my reviews, usually for me, most of the time, the malt hits in the first half of the palate and the hops hit on the second. And usually I'd be like, oh, all the malty goodness up front. Midway through the palate, you get all the different characteristics. On the finish, you know, typically like a hop finish. But for me, it's very rare to get like a bitterness at like the tip of my tongue. And that's what's happening here. There's a bitterness like the first third of my palate where it's like kind of, again, rindy and like pithy. Midway through the palate, a little bit of that candied blueberry. There's also hints of like a stone fruit, like a peach, apricot, mango, nectarine, something like that. Not overly sweet or anything, but nice. And then on the finish, it has a resinous pine kind of finish. It's floral. It's like fresh cut grass too on the finish. And I didn't mention the nose, but yeah, it has that like fresh cut grass kind of nose. The finish is moderately bitter. We're approaching moderately. There is a little bit of like a lingering kind of bitterness on my palate. It's not too big. I've taken, quite a few sips. I mean, I've pretty much down about half the beer already. And it's not building. It's just kind of staying consistent in that mild to moderate kind of range of bitterness. It's semi to full on dry, more approaching full dry. This is not that sweet, which is nice, but that fruit character you get at the forefront outside of that like bittering citrus with the blueberry and the stone fruits, that has a little bit of sweetness more midway through the palate. 5.4%, you can't really tell. This is a super crusher of a beer. Really well done from Two Tides, Human Robot, and North Park. This is, I mean, a lot of times collabs can go sideways. Look at that glass lacing too. Like that has just like that whipped cream kind of milkshakey kind of look to the head. It looks beautiful. And I have a lot of issues with, in general, let's just say that. I have a lot of issues in general. But when it comes to beers and pouring them, especially lagers, a lot of times people will be like, oh man, there's no head on that. And I don't know if it's because I wash my glasses improperly. I barely ever get hashtag Dirty Glass Mafia going on here. Very rare that happens. And I wash all my glasses, hand wash them. But a lot of times the head gets killed. Not the case this time. Like the head's still, it's a 2-finger head still kicking around, very frothy looking. Yeah, I like this one a lot. It's not blowing me away, but I think from a southern brewery doing a West Coast Pilsner, they did a really good job with this one. So huge shout out to Two Tides, Joe, and huge shout out to Wes for hooking me up with this one. So San Diego to Philadelphia to Savannah, I am going to give this a high 4.25 and go 4.35. Almost gets in that low 4.5 range. Fantastic West Coast Pilsner, dry hop Pilsner, IPL, whatever you want to refer to these. I feel like the liberties are taken with the styles nowadays and what we name them. But this definitely is in the realm. Like if you told me this was a North Park beer, I'd be like, yeah, no doubt. It's just extremely well done. This is a fantastic beer. So, and like I said, yeah, 5.4. I thought there was maybe something else on here that I was looking for, but maybe not. Price point availability. I believe Wes said these were $12 a 4-pack. Now, Two Tides comes into these 12 fluid ounce slim cans, energy drink cans. There was all basically what Wes said when I did the unboxing is there's this law where you can only sell a certain amount of ounces to go at breweries and whatnot. And they specifically put these into 12 fluid ounce cans instead of 60 fluid ounce cans so they could actually sell cases of them because people would want to buy cases and they couldn't do that in the 16 fluid ounce form. That's cool. However, a beer like this, I'd want 16 fluid ounces. I think Wes said the same thing. He would like to see this and their lagers and some of their lower ABV IPAs and whatnot in those 16 fluid ounce cans, but I get it. $12 for a 4-pack of 12 fluid ounce cans. Bit pricey maybe. If you put that in 60 fluid ounce cans, you get another can. You'll probably be seeing the $14, $16 realm, kind of the going rate for this. So I don't think it's that pricey. It's just, if they were in 16 fluid ounce cans, I'd be like $12 on a 4-pack is fucking great value for something like this. But even so, $12 4-pack for 12 fluid ounce cans is fine. And availability, I have no idea with Two Tides. You go to their website, go to their Instagram. Maybe Wes or anybody else knows. They're in Georgia, clearly. I don't think they get much outside of Georgia. You might see maybe drips and drabs closer, around the southern region by Georgia, but I don't think so. You might see them on like Tavor. I don't know. Maybe some random websites. All I know is Wes is awesome for hooking me up with Two Tides stuff. I have 4 more beers from them. 3 are like heavily fruited sours and 1 is a big pastry stout. This was brewed for I think it's their 6th anniversary, and so are some of the other beers. So really looking forward to checking out the rest of them. If you've had this beer before, post in the comment section and let me know what you thought about it. What do you think about this beer in general? Look at that glass lacing. The glass lacing's true to roof. Anyway, thanks again to Wes. Did I say 5.4%? You really can't tell because you can't. But thanks again to Wes. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here in the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.